Tank, since a little boy, has been a person that beats you to a spot, gets you to give up your height, come forward and bap. Since a little boy, he's been that same guy. He's a counterpuncher. He convinces people to give up their height and sets a trap, and then he lands the straight left. He's been that way since he was a little boy. And a lot of people think that Ryan Garcia is going to go to sleep because Rolly did. Rolly was leaning in forward, lunging with his head over his body, and then Tank got the look that he needed, convinced him to give up his height, just like when he was a little boy. Got the look he wanted, and then just lowered the boom and hit Rolly. Rolly's eyes was closed because he was focused on offense, and his body was dead before he hit the floor. But like I said, knockouts are like the MIB flash that make you forget about what happened up until that point. And I was noticing some things. I was noticing Tank struggling with the height of Rolly. Rolly controlling range and Tank not being able to set those traps that when Rolly was disciplined and didn't lunge in, and he was just sitting back, probing with the jab, there were no counterpunch opportunities for Tank. When Rolly was disciplined, like when he was probing with his jab and he was staying at a distance that was safe, all Tank did was reach out and touch his jab and back up and try to set more traps. And Rolly was using feints to get him out of position and then making him touch his jab again. And then every now and then Rolly would catch Tank reaching out with his jab, and he would touch, and then he would throw the right hand straight down the middle, which is a move that Ryan has done consistently. I think that's going to be the key for Ryan in this fight, is the right hand. Watch here, Tank tries to set a trap. He beats Rolly to a spot, and Rolly doesn't commit with that jab, and then he can't land that straight left down the middle like he wants to, because like I said, there's a big height difference. And sometimes Tank struggles with people who can control range and use their height. When Rolly was fighting and wasn't committing and lunging in, Tank had problems. Right here, he jumps up in the air and throws his straight left because he can't land his left. And look at Rolly's body positioning. He didn't lean forward and give Tank what he was looking for, the look he was looking for, so he can counterpunch him. Watch Tank step really, really hard here to try to make up for that distance. And Rolly pops his arm up, deflects it, and lands a full counter on Tank, of all people. That's because Tank is so highly challenged during the fight that he had to give reckless, because Rolly was staying disciplined and not giving him the look that he was looking for, like lunging in. And then when Tank would start lunging in himself, all Rolly did was simply stick the probing jab out there and make him respect his distance. And then when he tried to come charging in, he just put his hand in his face and blocked his vision to keep him from doing that gazelle leaping right hook. And all he did was take a step back. And Ryan is notorious for doing this very move. He even does it when he's working out on the heavy bag. See right there, he probes with it, put it on the bag. At the bottom, he's putting it on Fortuna's face, and then blocks his vision and makes him respect his distance and controls the range like a bigger fighter is supposed to. The Lennox Lewis's, all these guys fought in this manner. Ryan Garcia's signature move is that, to the fact that he does it on the heavy bag. Right here, look, he just puts his lead hand over his eyes, and then he tries to still come in, and Ryan Garcia puts the high guard up and then puts it over the top of his head, pushes a little bit, and then steers him, and then puts his hand in his face to block his vision. It's just like I said, I think Ryan Garcia will be winning the earlier rounds because Tank is a notorious slow starter, and Ryan Garcia's signature move with the probing jab will keep Tank at bay and control the range, like Rolly did in the first fight. Right here, like I said, Rolly was disciplined, and he didn't give Tank the look that he's looking for, that he does since he's a little kid, which he needs your aggression. He needs you to cooperate with him in order for him to land a big punch, or he'll just be sitting back waiting. And Ryan Garcia's hands is too fast for him to sit back waiting. And while Tank is waiting, he likes to reach with his right hand for your jab. And everybody knows Ryan Garcia's best punch is the left hook. And if he does what Rolly does, Rolly touches right there, feints the right hand, gets Tank's eyes to focus on that right hand. See, his eyes are still looking at the right hand, and while Rolly has Tank's focus on the right hand, he brings a left hook over the top, left hook / jab, and Tank doesn't detect it because he feinted him first. He feinted him, and he touched hands with him, and he lied to him. He thought it was going to be a situation that was exchanged that was going to favor Tank. If Ryan can feint Tank out of position because he's looking for one punch, he could also set up combinations in offense off of it. And I think his left hook and right hand will be the key to him and ultimately a body shot, because Tank is strong as hell to the head. Nobody's going to knock him out. He has a big head, big bone structure, and big punch, so nobody's even going to step up and throw those shots. Tank is very vulnerable to the body, and I noticed this just from watching him in fights, how he reacts to body shots, and watching him in training. Check this out. Even when Rolly doesn't commit and Tank lands the straight left, he's able to take it. Because of his positioning, it didn't look anything like the knockout punch. And now he was able to take Tank straight left and counter with a body shot off of it, and look how Tank reacts to the body shot. He says it's a low blow, but he makes the exact same face he made when his trainer was hitting him with the little bag on his body. So I think Tank is very vulnerable to body shots. And I think that Ryan Garcia will be implementing his Floyd Mayweather strategy, where he's going to be touching Tank's jab because he likes to reach with it, and he's going to shoot like he did with Fandora. With Fandora, he touched and then shot a jab, right hand, left hook, his money punch. And for these reasons, I think Ryan Garcia is going to be winning the earlier rounds. Also, Tank has a focusing issue where he'll be, during the fight, he'll have a whole bunch of distractions, like he'll be talking to the crowd, where's my mama? And he did it in multiple fights. Check this out.
Tank. He's calling to her. Let me get the eyes, bro. Come on, breathe, man. Stay focused right here, y'all. Listen, protect the dome here. Don't worry about the body, but when he touches you, gotta come back with something here. All right? Yeah. I know, you're good. You're good. Yeah. He's still a little true. Yeah. Take a deep breath here. No, keep doing what you're doing.
And all his corner tells him is keep doing what you're doing. Wrong advice. In the Mario Barrios fight, because Tank gets in an argument with somebody from the crowd, Mario Barrios is able to come in, land a right hand and a left hook. Combination sound familiar? But because Tank got distracted for that split second and started arguing with somebody in the crowd, he ended up getting buzzed because he loses concentration during fights and worries about the crowd. There's another example. You remember in the Rolly fight, when Rolly caught him with a good shot, he turns to the crowd, starts talking to them, oh, Rolly didn't really do nothing.
Wow, Davis is like looking at the crowd talking.
So because Tank has to overcome the height of Ryan Garcia and the speed, and he sits back and waits too much, Ryan Garcia is going to get the earlier rounds. I don't know why people think Tank is going to go in there and blow out Ryan, because he's not. Because Tank has focus issues, and he's not going to have Mayweather in his corner like he did in the Barrios fight to get him back on track. So look for Ryan to be winning early. But I think at some point, Ryan's going to lose focus also, because both of them have focusing issues, and he's going to get clipped. And when he gets clipped, Tank and his people have made sure that Ryan's not going to get up. This is why they put the rehydration clause. The first time in history that they had a catch weight and a rehydration clause. There's a reason for everything. And Tank has very smart people in his corner, and they're going to make sure that when they clip Ryan, and they know they're going to be down, and then when they clip Ryan, that he doesn't get up. He's too dehydrated to get up. Have you ever went out and performed and you were dehydrated or something? You could not focus on the task at hand. And I think that Ryan Garcia is going to have that same problem. But listen to Ryan Garcia show me that mentally, Ryan Garcia has mental lapses in the fight, especially when something's bugging him. And I think this is going to be too much of a nuisance for him, and he's going to make a mistake and Tank's going to catch him. But listen to Ryan Garcia.
But what did play a part was, okay, so this is just what was happening in the locker room. I'll give you some insight. I was in the locker room, and all of a sudden, before I hop in the ring, my ankle feels like it's tweaked a little bit, not too bad. There's a little bit a little bothersome with my ankle, my left ankle. And I'm like, okay, whatever. I don't care what happens. It's all an illusion. I'm still going to do and land that body shot like I know I am. It's all good. I went in there and let the moment take care of itself. And then the first round was great. I was like, all good in the hood. And then the second round, the thought of my ankle pops up in my mind. Great timing, right? I think about my ankle. I look up. It's not even really me. I just react. And I react the wrong way because I haven't been doing this that often, I guess. So my mind recorded to do this instead of this. And I didn't see the shot. Kudos to Luke Campbell. Maybe he did have me out in the air. Who knows? All I know is I seen white for a quick second. I knew I was on the ground. I got right back up, and I said to myself, I got dropped. Wow. That's basically really what happened. So for a split second, I lost concentration. A thing came into my mind. I thought of it, and then there you go. That's why you need to train your mind and body at all times before the fight to do the right thing, because when you react, you want to do the reaction on the right part. You know what I mean? So I learned already.
Like I said, Tank needs your cooperation to knock you out. If Ryan Garcia fights a disciplined fight for 12 rounds, which is extremely hard to do, 36 minutes, He can win the fight, but he can't make one single mistake, and he has to set traps for Tank and vary the shots and catch him with body shots to drop him and make him respect his power. But if he ever comes forward in the fight, which I think he will do, and do a pattern, Tank will pick up on this pattern and eventually catch him with the straight left hand. And I think that's going to happen in probably like the 11th round. So if I was a betting person, I probably would put my money in the 8th through the 11th round. Tank is really good at picking up on patterns to land that shot that he's landed since he was a little kid. And I think that's what's going to happen in this fight because Ryan has too many things to worry about mentally with all the advantages he gave up. And I think that's going to play a factor in this fight. And I think that Tank is eventually going to stop Ryan Garcia in the late rounds. Or it could go 12. I could see another scenario where it goes 12. But if I had to put my money down on anything, I would put it for Tank for a late round stoppage in a fight that he's losing, just like the cases in most of his fights. But I'm gonna let Tank and Paulie take you home with the pattern recognizing. But anyway, it's the Boxer Scholar, and I'm out.
He's throwing the right hand to the stomach, as I just explained. But Rolly's actually looking to come with that same hook jab again. If you look, when he gets clipped with the counter, he's in the midst of throwing the succession shot to the body shot that he's throwing. So he's looking to throw the right hand to the stomach and then that jab hook to the head. So this was actually his intent, what he was doing. He threw the right hand to the stomach. He wanted to back Davis to the ropes. Then once Davis can go back to the ropes, Davis has nowhere to back up to anymore. So he figures, I'll throw the same shot again, but this time I'll pop up to the head with the left after I throw it to the stomach. The only problem is Davis was waiting for that same right hand to the stomach. He should have went to the head first with the right hand, then following with. Instead, he followed it up with the identical right hand to the stomach, and he never even got to finish the combination because as he's trying to throw the succession shot, the follow-up shot to his right hand to the stomach with his left hand to the head, which again was the same shot he landed in round 2. He doesn't get to land it because Davis catches and shoots rapidly, sharply, and the fight ends. There's some controversy about whether
he fell right there, like damn that out the ring. He just threw the shot 3 times in a row, but it wasn't like on no like, it wasn't like faint or nothing. He just kept throwing it like.
Why would you throw it 3 times?
Yeah.
1, 2.